Guys, today's video is going to be my first video in hopefully what turns out to be a series of tips for 1Ls. So this video is just going to be my 5 most basic tips if you are entering your first year of law school. I feel like this is the perfect time to upload this video because most people are either starting the Monday that's coming up or the Monday after that. And I'll also have all my other videos about this topic down below. So I think I have like 2 or 3 Q&As, and I'll have those linked below because in those videos I answer a lot of other questions about getting into law school or financial aid and things like that that I won't really be talking about at all in today's video. So on my New York State Bar Association pad, I have my 5 tips, so let's start. My first tip is to take it one day at a time. It can be so easy to start thinking like, oh, well, Friday I have this, and then next Monday I have this, and oh my god, next month we have midterm, and then the next month we have a final. And that kind of mindset will really freak you out, and I've gotten stuck in that mindset. I know everyone does get stuck in that mindset every now and again, but it's really important to just think about what you have to do today. Like today you have torts and you have property and you have to do your Civ Pro homework. Like think about what you have to do today and not think about what you need to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because that's when you start to like spiral and get anxiety and start freaking out. And the best way to live your life as a whole, really, I think, is to take it one day at a time. And this way, you're not freaking out about everything that you'll have to do, because there's obviously a million things you do have to do in your first year of law school. But you don't need to think about that all today, and you don't need to think about that all tomorrow. Just think of it as it comes. And playing off of that, my second tip, and if you guys watch my vlogs, you know I talk about this all the time, but it is to work a week ahead. And what I mean by that is, let me look at the calendar and see the dates, so I'm being accurate. Okay, so let's say your first day of class is the 27th. The 20th, which is starting the week before, do all of your work the 20th, 21st, 22nd, you know, that week for the week that's coming after that. So then when you get to the 27th, all your work for that week is already done. And then the 27th, you start doing your work for the 3rd. So you're always a week ahead, and that has worked so well for me. And I know not everyone can do that because sometimes it's like hard to remember what you did a week ago, and it's not the way for everyone. But if you can't do a week ahead, do a few days, because the worst thing you can do to yourself is to be doing homework for a class you have that day. Like before the class starts, you're doing the homework. That is the worst thing you can do to yourself, because once you get stuck in that cycle, you're kind of just in it, and you're doing the homework that's due that day. It's just too stressful to live your life that way when it can be done in such an easier way. And I feel like the whole reason I really enjoyed my first year of law school and wasn't completely like maniac stressed out as I usually am is because I worked a week ahead, and I was never freaking out every single day that I had so much work to do. Even though I did have a lot of work to do, those readings weren't due until the next week, so it didn't feel so daunting. So I was like, okay, like if I happen to not finish it today, it's okay because I have another whole week to finish it. My third tip is to change your socializing schedule, and I'm not really sure how to word that, but I'll explain. Law school is not like college where you can go to your classes all day, party all night, and go to class in the morning. You really can't function in class if you're super hungover. I've been there. You really can't function in class if you had 1 hour of sleep. And yeah, we've all had those days where we haven't had a lot of sleep, or we just didn't have a good night the night before, or maybe we had too many glasses of wine the night before and you're a little like not on your A game. But you can't do that every day. It's not college. It is nothing like college. What I personally did is I didn't hang out with anyone during the week. I would like hang out with my law school friends during the day. We spent literally like 8 hours every single day together, but like after school, I would go home, do my homework, and I would do my little night routine, the same exact thing every single night, except for Fridays and Saturdays. Those were like the nights I could go out and socialize. But even on Fridays and Saturdays, I really didn't party like I used to in college. Like I didn't really go out to bars that often. I didn't stay at my friend's house until 2 in the morning. Like because I was in such a good cycle of getting enough rest and just being home and not drinking. It's honestly good for you, probably. I mean, you probably shouldn't be partying every night, but getting in the cycle of like Sunday through Thursday, not socializing at night, or, you know, going crazy. Like if you're hanging out with your friend, that's one thing, but if you're like going to bars and going out, that's different. And you really need to get your sleep cycle in a good place. I am a good sleeper. I mean, I love to sleep, and I know a lot of people don't like feel the need to sleep a lot, so this may not be like exactly what you need to do, but I think I went to bed generally, what the fuck was that? Generally between like 9 and the latest 11 when I had class the next day, because I'd have to get up around like 7, I think. I can't even remember now, but go to bed early and wake up early. It's what your body really is made to do. Go to bed early and wake up early. And I know some people are night people and they like to do their homework at night, and that's fine. But these are just my tips from my experience. Go to bed early, wake up early. My fourth tip is to plan everything. And this I'm not even going to talk about too much because I feel like it's so obvious, but write down every assignment you have to do, like read pages 200 to 250, sports homework for Monday, tours homework for Wednesday, Civ Pro homework for whatever. Like, I would write down every single thing I had to do. Like, go on Westlaw and look up this, print this, go to the registrar and do this, like every single thing. So as I did it, I could check it off, and I just felt so much more accomplished. Like, wow, see, like I did all of this stuff today, and you don't feel like, oh, I didn't do anything. Because I know at the end of the day, I've had so many of those days where I'm like, today was such a wash, I didn't do anything, I went to class and that was it. But if you write every single thing down you have to do, you'll realize how much you really end up doing in a day. And that way you'll never forget to do a reading or to submit a paper or, you know, pay your tuition or something. Like, you won't forget those things. And law school gives you a lot less leeway. In college, you know, you got called on and you didn't know the answer. Okay, your professor calls on someone else. That's not law school, at least not for most professors. If you get called on, you're a cold call, and you don't know the reading, generally it's not going to be a good experience. I've had professors where they're super nice about it, but I've also had professors that freak out when a student didn't do the reading. And if you forget, like, it just looks so bad when someone's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do the reading. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we had to read this case. It's just like cringeworthy to have someone say that in your class. You're like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Get a planner, write everything down, and do everything. It's so important. You're in law school. I can show you the planner that I got for this year because I used a personal planner last year, like literally personal-planner.com planner, and I loved it. But this year I just was on Amazon and found this, and it's from Bloom Daily Planners, and I'll link it below. They have so many cute ones, but I just thought the leopard was really cute. And it's August to July, so it's a student planner. You have your monthly, which I love this for, like, let's say, oh, my brief is due the 18th. The 23rd, I have a meeting with career services, and then the 24th, I have this. Like, I will write on my monthly spread everything that's due, or like big things, or no class this day, makeup class here. And then you can use, obviously, the daily parts for your homework. I don't think I need to explain that, but yeah, I just really wanted to show you my planner, I guess. So I'll link it below. It's really cute. Not sponsored or anything. I just like that planner. They didn't even send it to me. I bought it myself. And my final tip is about studying, which is probably the most daunting thing about law school, because everyone's like, oh my god, the final, study. Yeah, a lot different than college again, because in most classes you're graded off one thing and that's the final. You bomb the final, you just bomb the entire class. So I'm sure you've heard this before from everyone, but study over time. Don't wait until the week before to start studying, because that's the worst way to study, and I've done it, and it is the worst way to study. Cramming stuff in there, maybe you'll remember it that day, but good chance you won't. And then you really won't remember it. Like, the second you leave the test, when you cram stuff into your brain, you don't remember it. And there's so many different things I could say about studying, and maybe that'll be a video of its own. But the best way I have found to study, other than to make an outline, which is very important, is to do hypos. And you'll hear hypos your entire first semester, first year of law school. Hypos are just hypothetical questions, like practice questions. If you do those over and over and over again, your testing experience will be so much easier because you know how to write the answer. You'll know how to IRAC it. And IRAC is something you've probably not heard before law school. IRAC is the way you answer a law school question, which is issue, rule, analysis / application, I can't really remember, and then conclusion. So if you do a whole bunch of hypos and a whole bunch of IRACs, answering a question on a test is so much easier. You never want to go into a test blind, never having answered any sort of hypo about that issues. So like never having answered a contracts hypo or a property hypo. You don't want to show up and not have ever done that before. I've never done that and I've never heard of anyone doing that, but I'm just saying, don't do that. You could totally get away with not studying in college, high school, for anything. I did not study in college at all. I didn't even study for the LSAT. I hate studying. I hate it. But I had to change my mindset and the way I looked at studying, because you have to do it in law school. You have to. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it's to work a week ahead and to study a lot. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions at all, leave them below. I always try to answer every single comment. I'll have everything I talked about linked below, which is really just the planner and my other videos. And hopefully there's more videos to this series. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you again in my next video. Peace out. I just ended it like a vlog. In a regular video, I say, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you again next time. Bye.
I don't know what you've been told, but the sky